Good morning. We are in Birmingham today. Have a look at this little view out the window here. You can see everything, including shitty electrical factors. Ash is here as well, and today he is going to be changing his first ever three-phase board, which is just up here. Even though it's a three-phase board, it's actually not, it's only single phase. So there has been a very bad link done in here with some bits of 6mm cable. We're going to be replacing it out. We are going to be fitting a new board. The heater sockets that are currently spurs are getting changed over to sockets, so it's just easier for them to plug in. The board hasn't been done particularly well inside. Customers asked us if we can change it. It's on their request, so that's what we're doing. We've got a light up here that needs to be re-secured because it's hanging about, and there's a couple of others that have got to be done. A couple of little minor remedial works, but we'll crack on with those as well whilst Ash is doing the board. First thing that we need to do is safe isolation. We have everything laid out for him ready. Ash has his continuity testers. We're going to go and take it down to the bottom where this board is supplied from. We'll turn it off, we'll lock it off, and then we'll come back up here and we'll do the full stage of testing to ensure everything's dead. So we're going to have a walk down there and then we'll come back up here. So even though this board is supplied in here, we've got to go all the way down here through this corridor, all the way down to the other end of this corridor, which is where we're going to find that there is a switch room. So, 3-minute walk later, we're in the switch room, which is here. Every unit that's in this building on this floor is supplied from out of this room. So, Ash, come on, which one's the one for our unit?
306.
Right, so what's the first thing we're going to do?
Turn it off.
Oh, failed. Oh.
Permission.
Correct. Do we need to ask permission? It's an empty unit? No, we're good. Right. We've identified that it's this one, 306. So Ash will knock it off now. Perfect. Now, on these isolators, there is a little hole in the top which allows us to put a padlock through. Now, the padlock might fit through it if we're lucky. I'd probably turn that up the other way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, anything else we might need to put on there before you lock it?
Label.
Yeah. So, you've got your label. Label goes on as well, but it also needs to be filled out first. So, Ash has filled out the lockout tag out kit. It's all written out. It has his details on there. The date of we're doing it, expected date of completion, then contact telephone number on there at the bottom for anybody who might need it. It has everything there. That is ready to go. You got your key?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you want it? Okay.
Oh, see, it's another failure.
What do you mean?
Never give the key to anybody else. It's your name on there. Tut, 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 Ash. Tut, tut, tut. Come on. So Ash has locked off down there, just as we've just seen. Quick little indication of the fact that we know that we've turned the power off in this unit. My charger has gone off. The emergency lights have come on. But that isn't enough to be able to satisfy the fact that this has been isolated correctly. So what Ash is going to do in a second is he's going to pull the board cover off. We're going to run through the testing to make sure that everything is isolated and we're happy using the proving unit. Then we can proceed to start getting this board taken off the wall. So as you can see, Ash has the board cover off now, and you can see what we're saying. Somebody has replaced the tails that go from where the arm that comes in up here with some 10mm singles. Those then pop down to the main switch here that have then just been linked with cable. There is a proper linking kit that you can get for these. The reason we've spoken to the customer in regards to obviously having this board changed, one, the brand's not particularly great. The RCD here failed upon an EICR. The board has literally been ripped apart at the bottom to be able to get the cables in. These ones in here have been glanded into incorrect size holes. Customer agreed with us. They'd rather just have a board that they know isn't going to cause them any problems in the long run. So we're going to get this ripped off the wall. Ash is going to prove dead in here now with the safe isolation kit, and then we can carry on from there. So this is a QTech Q-Proof 3. What this is designed to do is when you use a continuity testers or an approved testing device lamp to check for voltage, this will actually cause these to illuminate. So Ash is going to quickly check those now. I'm trying to take pictures of him as well for his portfolio. Right, so as you can see on here, this is illuminated now to say that we have voltage, which proves that the testers are working correctly. If you just spin it to the side, because you keep knocking it off, and now push it in. Okay, off again. Right, put them back on. There we go. So we're up to full 690 volts on there to prove that absolutely everything's working. Ash is now going to go over to the board. So even though this is a 3-phase board, as we say, it's been linked to the bottom, so there's no need for the 10 test procedure on here. So what Ash is going to do now is he's going to test between line and neutral. And you can see we have no voltage. He's then going to test between line and earth. Again, no indication of voltage. And then he's now going to test between neutral and earth. And once again, no indication. Now what's the last thing we've got to do, Ash?
Oh, you put me on the spot.
Come on, what do we need to do? We've proven it. We've proved that it's dead. Now what do we need to do? And that, what do we need to do?
Reprove.
Perfect, off we go. So we're going to go back over to the proving unit now to ensure that our testers that we're using haven't malfunctioned, had an issue in the process. We can see that they are all good. So we are satisfied that that board is now fully safely isolated. There is no power coming into it. We've isolated the correct isolator. It's locked off, it's tagged off. Nobody can turn it on. Ash has the key and he's not giving it to anybody today. So we are now in a position where we can proceed with taking this board off the wall. Like I've said to you, I'm here to come and try and give Ash a bit of a hand to get through his portfolio. Ash is doing this board. He's never done a fuse board before. So it's going to be fun for him. It's going to be interesting and he's going to learn a few things along the way. So let's crack on. Now, I get that everybody's different. My preferred method is to put a Sharpie marker on the cables so you can identify which cables are which, so when you come to redo them it's quite straightforward. Ash is marking from 1 to 3 on the left hand side and then 4 to 5 on the right hand side. What I then do normally is I take a picture of the board so I can see exactly which one's which. I've got no worries about getting confused by anything. So he's going to take a picture and then he's going to start stripping the board down back to its bare bones. So we literally have cables ready to come through. So we can start getting the new board mounted up. So Ash has got the majority of the board ripped out. Ash, tell me what you've done.
So I've labelled all the circuits over
Yeah.
the Sharpie and I just took them all out, stripped them out here. There's a link going across from here to the line circuit down to the key switch as well. So I have to take all that out to come and take out down the trunking.
Okay, perfect. That's all. That's pretty much bare bones in there now, which is great. So we have just the main supply to take out, which why somebody's undersized it there, I don't know. They've only had to join it from just up there. They've used some line taps as well by the looks of it up there. So obviously we're going to swap those out to some Henley blocks. Ash will get the cover off in there in a minute and show you what's going on in there. But yeah, we'll come back to you in a minute once it's all off the wall. So Ash has now got the old board off the wall. As you can see from what I was saying, what I've been using here is just some like line tap screw downs. So the earth is loose, which is never great. So we're going to take these out. We are going to fit some Henley blocks in there instead as a replacement, put a proper gland into the bottom of the metal box and then drop that down into the new board. I'm going to get to pull these little bits off the wall. These can be disconnected and gone, and then we're pretty much ready for that board to start going on the wall, which is on its way. So Ash, crack on. So Ash has just used a nice new Armeg 32mm hole cutter. Got a hole in the top which he's going to now pop the tails gland into. which is then going to allow us to bring our tails down here and round into the main switch. We are waiting on a link kit for the main switch, so we're going to get everything sorted and pop back tomorrow or later with the link kit for it. Once you've got that done, we've got a couple of marks on the bottom that we're going to drill with a 20mm hole cutter or a 25, see what space we've got, just to bring the original cables back up into the board. Then we've got a 20mm hole that's got to go in the top for the conduit to go into. So just a little update of where we're at. Ash has now got the board mounted on the wall. We have a 32mm hole in the back of the board just here where we have fitted an intermittent seal. That is from the trunking that comes up. We've moved all the cables over into one trunking. There's plenty of room in it, which allows us to go through a little hole that was at the back of the board already. Bring everything back entry instead of having to worry about trying to get into the bottom of the board here, which can be a bit of a pain. So we've come rear entry on them. We are, like I say, waiting on a link kit because it is single phase now, not 3-phase, but they've asked for a bigger board to be left in. So yeah, that's what we've ended up fitting. Everything's pretty much ready to go. We have a tails gland in the top. We are going to join that onto the tails that come in off the existing SWA. I'm just going to go and grab some splice lines out of the van because some of these cables need extending and some cable, and Ash is going to carry on terminating these ready. So I'll give you a little update of where we're at in a second once the breakers and stuff like that's all in and ready to go. So a little update of where we are currently at. I've been stood around doing nothing. So Ash has got all the earths terminated into the board. Just jump down a second, mate. Something that's a little bit weird with this board. Normally on a 3-phase board, you'll have obviously your L1 to 3, L1 to 3. This one's a 4-way board. Normally you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 earth terminals on this side. Weirdly, this live board has 7. So this earth is actually here, not on this side of the board. It starts at number 8. So instead of relabeling all the board, which isn't really what we want to be doing, we've gone with the designated numbers that are on here. So they're all ready. Ash has had to extend the majority of the cables that were in here because they don't reach. So he's in the process of terminating those down into the bottom corner down here. They're all ideal splice lines, so they're nice and tight. They're not going to go anywhere. They're not a lever connector. They're a push on, don't release. As far as I'm aware, they don't release. And they will sit down in the bottom corner, nice and neat, ready to go up to the breakers that are going to be sitting into position. So Ash has been busy getting some of the circuits mounted into the board. I'm going to try and pop up here where he is. So the original board that was fitting here was a fuse box board, but unfortunately fuse box have not got any stock of any of their 3-phase boards at the moment. So the only thing the only thing we could get hold of was a live board that provided surge protection and all the rest of it. So what we've come across is that these live RCBOs have got a fly lead on them, which is great, but not so great at the same time because, like, come on, we don't do this stuff anymore. I don't think I've come across any other manufacturer that has got fly leads on the RCBO still. So cables have had to be jointed down in the corner down here, so they all run back up and have all been connected into there. We have the tails landing ready. Ash is going to start getting the tails dressed in at the top, so then we can start getting some power back on. This here is a key switch, which is for the emergency lighting, so we've just got to refeed that, but that is fed from up there. So we'll join the cables in there, drop them back into the board, and then that gives us the power for the lighting circuit. We'll leave Ash to carry on because we want to go home as well, so we'll come back to you in a minute and give you a bit of an update. Right then, so Ash. So as you can probably see by the information that was just on the screen, my audio device decided to stop recording at this point. I have no idea why. It's probably down to the fact that the batteries may have depleted on it over the day. But when I did check, they were still fully charged. So at this point, I am just running through how we have got on today. A couple of little bits left to be put on the board, like the cover. All the connections are all completed, and the unit is ready to power up. We did manage to get hold of the link out device, that's all fitted as well.
Ash has done a great job of obviously this board, considering it's his first ever 3-phase board change that he's done. Not 100% sure what I'm explaining here. Probably something to do with the cables that are in the bottom left-hand corner. How we fed the board with some new tails. As you can see, the tails gland that's just the right-hand corner. SPD obviously on this board with RCBOs. The only circuit that isn't RCBO is the lighting circuit. That's because that's obviously what it was originally on, and there's no requirement for it. A couple of little end caps to go on. Ashley's just tidying up over there, and I think he's about to give us a little demo of the new t-shirt. So we've had some new t-shirts printed, and I've now got our Instagram handle on the left hand of the sleeve. There you go, Ashley's showing us that now. They've done a fantastic job of that, so can't fault the printers who do those for us enough. Overall, this board was quite straightforward board to do, but we've let the apprentice have a go on it, and I think he's done a fantastic job. Comment below what your thoughts are on it, and once again, thank you ever so much for watching. Please make sure you do subscribe to us. See you all soon.